You know what really pissed me off about this film? Is how in trailer 2 it says, boom, December 30. But in trailer 3, which I saw 1 week before the end of the year, it said January 11. And then my theater received the film 1 week prior to every other theater. You want my advice? Pick a date, okay? Just pick one date, one freaking date, and stick with it. 0 Dark 30. Directed by Kathryn Bigelow, who was the first woman to ever win Best Director. You probably know her for The Hurt Locker, which starred Jeremy Renner. And just a side note, great movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's really good. 0 Dark 30's plot could not be any more black and white. It is the story of the manhunt for Bin Laden. Boom! Easiest plot synopsis ever. The film's cast is full of very well-known and talented actors, headlined by Jessica Chastain, Jason Clarke, and Kyle Chandler. This film has been getting nothing but rave reviews from the critics, so obviously my expectations were about as high as the likelihood of Osama bin Laden getting killed in the film. But I come to you now to report that despite the fact that I know this film will get nominated for Best Picture, I personally thought it was just okay. It's a pretty long movie, and I think it actually clocks in about, the same time as Les Mis. 2 hours and 37 minutes, if my memory serves me correctly. The first 2 acts are pretty slow, and even the raid at the end takes its time. There was even a guy behind me snoring, so obviously he was pretty bored. As was I, which I found very odd. I was expecting to be on the edge of my seat, biting my nails, sweating, possibly even crying at certain points. But no, I just sat there waiting for it to get good. The main problem this film runs into is that it tries so hard to be a gripping, emotional drama that by the end, it just loses all emotional gravity. I wanted to care about the characters and everything that was going on, but because I knew how it was going to end, and because most of the actors were overplaying their roles, trying to be really dramatic with their line deliveries, it just fell apart, and I was happy when it ended. And in my opinion, The Hurt Locker is a far superior film. Maybe you think differently, that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying that this film did not do for me what The Hurt Locker did. So I'm gonna give 0 Dark 30 2.5 out of 5 stars. I was gonna give it 2, but the raid was done very well. It wasn't as intense as I was hoping it would be, but from a filmmaking standpoint, more than passable. If you have seen the film, then regardless of whether you loved it or hated it, let me know what you thought of it. I think, in the end, based on what I have read, Best Picture is gonna come down to this and Lincoln. And given how the Academy is a sucker for war films, I think this one's gonna win. Though, now that I think about it, Lincoln was kind of a war film. Well, we'll see. Thanks for watching, as always.